So I think it's how we look at the world, and we have to let go of those negative emotions and rewrite our story so that we can have positive relationships.
Wow, that is so true. And I do find out that when young girls, the first man they're ever exposed to usually is their father. And in those first years, it's so formative for a child to look to their father or whatever male figure is in their life and to look up to them. You know, we always want a hero. We want our dads to be a hero, or whatever father figure that we have. We want them to be a hero, and when they have faults and when they do things that are not positive in our lives, it affects us. And I would like to say, too, my father, he was abusive a lot, and I put the blame on myself. I thought, what did I do to get treated like this? And then when I was around 28, I realized my father was a man with a problem. I looked at him not as my father, but as a human being with a problem, and I was able to release it. So that is very true, and I really agree with that. Do you see women deal a lot with depression?
I do. And many times, depression is anger turned inward, the negative things we say to ourselves. A good example I had was a sweet, lovely lady. She was just beautiful, and I thought she was wonderful, but she was very depressed, and her body image was so distorted. She thought she was fat, and she didn't think there was anything good about her at all. And she had to go back and look at the childhood issues of abuse that she had and then rewrite her story to see her beauty. She had to begin just a little bit at a time, step by step, to rewrite that negative body image. For instance, she couldn't even touch her feet or anything. So she put lotion on her feet, then she put lotion on her legs, and just little by little she came to look at herself as beautiful. But it took the actions that she was doing, plus she had to rewrite her thinking. One thing that I have learned in therapy is your thinking creates your feelings. Sometimes we think it's the other way around.
I'm glad you said that. You mentioned about doing your affirmations. That is so important for a woman to really affirm what she wants out of life and to claim that. I think that's an important way to get on the right path.
Well said. Very well said.
In winding up our show here, you talk about reframing your life with positive energy. What are your last thoughts on this to help women to renew themselves and to start over?
Well, the premise of this Becoming Free book is that we are all constricted by our negative childhood beliefs. And so as a butterfly breaks free from the chrysalis that it's in and beautifies the world, so we can break free from these negative thinking that we have and beautify the world.
I love that. That has always been one of my favorite analogies. Tell us again how they can, tell us your website address. Let's do that.
It's christy-monsoon.com.
Good. I want to thank you for being such a wonderful guest. You've been delightful, and I do hope that the listeners will check out your books because our children are so important to us and our own lives as well because we influence so many people. Thank you for being our guest on Woman 911. Thank all my listeners out there, and thank you for listening.
Thank you so much for having me.